Okay, so I'm out here in my garden. It's Friday evening, and I just wanted to connect really quickly. Tomorrow is supposed to be rain, so today I'm emptying all my water containers, so hopefully I catch more. This is like very important to us here in Southern California, and so I'm moving my little hose around. But I thought it was very appropriate to talk to you today because Janice just interviewed Linda, and she talks in our latest episode a lot about the importance of soil and growing stuff. So right now, I'm going to turn this camera around so you can see a little bit what's going on in my yard and what I'm doing to help the soil along. And also I want to show you some really special because I actually have my very first cherimoya, and those are just such incredible fruit. I love them. They're also called custard apple, I think, in England. Here we call them cherimoya or dragon egg fruit, something like that. And usually people say, oh, you have to hand pollinate them, do all of that stuff. And if you know me by now at all, I'm just not into doing stuff where you have to baby things too much. I don't have the time for that. So I was earlier out here picking greens to make a green smoothie, and I saw it, and I swear I had looked at the tree yesterday and I didn't see it. So sometimes things just hide. So anyways, I'm super stoked about it, and I'm going to show you. And now I'm going to turn this thing around so you see what's going on here right now. So turning. So right now you're looking at one of the beds, and I should have turned this phone around. This is my little water thing, and see how ants are coming everywhere. So I'm hydrating the soil. It's not too bad. You see I have some strawberries going, I have some little lettuces going. But basically, even if it rains the next day, if you have any water containers, you want to empty them out because it gives the soil a better chance to survive. So I'm doing a lot of stepping stones. I used to just have everything going however, and then my kids and my husband and everybody doesn't understand where you're supposed to step and where you're not supposed to step. So here I have a whole bunch of the wood mulch. We have way too many ants here. So anyways, but a couple of things I want to show you. So I'm going to turn around, and I'm trying to be slow about it. So this is some onions growing over there. In that bucket, it's mostly geranium right now, but there should be like a Jerusalem artichoke coming out. I have one of those towers. I'm not quite sure yet how I feel about it. But look at all of this. There are some weeds, but there's a whole bunch of lettuce. And look, there's more lettuce. And there's more lettuce. And there's more lettuce. And I didn't plant any of that. I just allowed my lettuce to go to seed. And this is a heavily mulched area. And my walkway, so to speak, have beautiful soil in it. So here's one of those soil building things Linda was talking about. And these are hoses going into all directions. I have them connected to all the different water catchments areas. So now this one, there's a lot of wheat growing up. I have tiny little, I don't know if you can see them in here even, but look here, there's like tiny little leeks coming up. And so ever so often, I mean, we eat a lot of the weeds, and there's like borage growing. Yeah, I'm going to fill up the little things. This is borage. So I have a lot of self-seeded borage, and it's going between the topsoil right here. And you see here what I'm doing. When I see like too much weed taking over or stuff, I just clip it off and drop it down. I try to avoid pulling it out because then you disturb the whole soil setup, and you also allow new weed seeds to come up. So the only thing I pull out is the Bermuda grass because I'm really trying to get rid of that. Everything else I just kind of snip off with my fingers like this. and then I put it down. So it's like chop and chop. If I see too much borage, and by the way, I eat this or put it in my smoothies, especially when it's little. And then the flowers are so delicious and edible too. But on to, so I'm a little distracted because I'm doing my little water harvesting, or emptying my whole water harvesting area. So talking about soil building, and Linda has a lot to say about that, and she also teaches it. In this one here, and I made my walkways or my beds only as wide so that I can actually step over them, so I don't always have to walk around it. And this went a little bit out of bounds, but you see peas growing in there, so I will get some stuff from them, you know, some peas, but it's also a nitrogen fixer in the soil. There are sunflowers which were self-seeded. Also borage you see is self-seeded. But I have nettles growing in here. There's a nettle right here, which I love. They're super high and nutritious. And then I planted a whole bunch of garlics, which this is not a garlic, so this one I'm putting down, but those guys are garlics. And they are going in between a whole bunch of clover. And the clover, ever so often, I just chop and chop as well. And again, it will add organic material to the soil. And eventually it will get better and better and better. So you see, it's green. So this is daikon radish. I planted really close together, and now I thin it out by eating the green. So I go in and just clip, you know, a bunch and then leave some plants whole so they can develop into whole daikon radishes. But here it is. So this is a cherimoya. It's still hard. And I'm just so happy. I love them so much. And this tree here, okay, let me try to step back so you see what it looks like. So this is actually right now going to lose its leaves. So it has 1, 2, 3 big ones, and then it has some branches going out to the side. And I did it on this one already. I want to keep a little bit shorter, so I'm tipping off just with my fingertips the tips of the branches. So maybe I can do that for you right now, holding the camera. I'm not sure if I can manage that. So you see how there is a going tip here? That's where it's, see here? So I'm taking this part off, and hopefully this will help it to not keep going so much. So what I wanted to tell you about this tree, I'm gonna use my cherimoya again. I'm in love with it. I'm like so happy. So this thing grew from a seed I didn't plant. So I might have eaten a cherimoya out here and then just spit out the seeds, or it might have gone into the compost. And so see, a 55-gallon rain barrel actually gives you quite a bit of water, which is cool. So anyways, it grew by itself, and I was thinking of digging it up because my front yard, and right next to it is a little nectarine. It's a dwarf nectarine, which should be growing pretty soon again. So they're kind of growing into each other, which I probably get rid of this branch here, and allows the nectarine to go over and then have the cherimoya in back. So it grew here, and I was going to dig it up, and then I just didn't get around to it, and it got too big. And so we decided to craft it just in place. And maybe you can see here, this is where it's crafted. And it looks, let me go down here. Yeah, it looks like here is this is not crafted. So this year I probably pop another kind of variety on this big one here. I didn't notice that. Last year kind of went away from me as a garden. But this is a very nice vase that you can multi-craft if you have such distinct different branches, and then I get different varieties of cherry moyas growing. I have some tomato already growing. And then back here you see my golden Dorset apple tree in bloom. So I'm happy about this. And this guy, which looks kind of like a little puffet, that's a nitrogen fixer. It's a guaje. It's also edible. The seeds are, the leaves are, if you have, I don't know, I don't like them that much, but if you have cows and stuff like that, it's a good food for them. And I cut it back in the fall, so then all the winter sun can hit the ground, and then by summertime this thing is all leafed out again, and it will give shade on the bottom for crops which would like a little bit more shade. So that's it for today. Anyways, thank you for indulging me. And if you want to learn more about gardening and soil, go ahead and listen to our latest podcast. I think it's episode 79, and it's with Linda, and I'm not even going to attempt her last name because, as you know, last names or names, pronouncing it correctly is not my strength. I have many strengths, that's not one of them. So anyways, she is teaching people how to improve the soil, how to grow food, and actually how to make a living growing food for other people. And I think that's super exciting. So more people doing this, and I mean, look at the abundance. This is just my little front yard here, and we eat out of it every single day. And yeah, I have like tons and tons of garlic growing over here, and I'm actually pulling some of it up now to eat fresh, but then I'm also going to let it develop into whole garlic bulbs, and tons of lettuce, more than I can eat. And then you see behind here said walking stick kale. It's actually, or it's also called tree collard, so I don't know why it's called both, but it is in the collard family, and it just keeps going and going and going, and you harvest and eat, and it's fantastic. So anyways, happy listening to episode 79 with Linda, and hope seeing that little bit of green growing here inspired you to want to grow green too. Yeah, just let it go to seed and see what happens the next year. Bye for now.